Yo, grand afternoon, good people. Are you ready for the Astro-Weather Weekend? July 25th, 26th, 27th? Yes, we're in the Lionsgate portal from the Leo New Moon yesterday, the 24th, until August 8th. And we've got a Leo Virgo Moon weekend. Happy Leo season. Let's talk about it. Pew! Hey everybody, how you doing? Derek Taylor, BigEAstro Astrology, coming to you at 11, a little bit later, but around 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. That Leo moon is conjunct Mercury retrograde. And I hope you had a good Leo new moon yesterday. I hope you watched my podcast last night. If you have not, please go check that out with Debbie Solaris. And then from Monday or from Tuesday with Smoke the Creator. It was a powerful week. But yeah, and happy birthday to Debbie. Our birthday's today. And we are in some interesting times with Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde, and then Chiron, the wounded healer, July 30th. July and going into at least to Mercury retrograde, the 10th of August, introspection's on the table, but things coming back up from the past, old storylines, old things about politicians like Trump and Obama. Nobody's going to jail. I mean, it doesn't matter what Tulsi Gabbard says, this and that. Things about, ceasefire and this and that. Oh, France came out and said, we honor Palestine, two-state. So that was big. But, the reality is, it's about you. The mundane stuff, I like to share it with you just because you can see certain things through the astrological placements, right? The stock market's up. There's still concerns about tariffs, but things are going well. The Fed is not going to, lower interest rates. Trump's pressuring them, all this stuff. But I want you to realize that everything external in the matrix system is an illusion. It's not what you see. It's not what you think. That is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And remember, Saturn goes back to Pisces September 1st. You're going to see then more clearly how you've been deceived by the government and the veils. Neptune goes back October 22nd. You're going to see more clearly, as they're both there until February 20th, the exact conjunction in Aries. You're going to see how film, photography, the media, the television, the films have been lying, deceiving, manipulating, and brainwashing you. This is all to bring you more clarity. These alignments are to make you to go into your sovereign self, your heart chakra, with joy, gratitude, and authenticity to realize it's on you. You can't rely on these systems and these people, and nor should you put stock in them. Trump or whatever, anybody think, none of them are your saviors. Okay? Neither was Biden, Harris, Clinton, Obama, Bush, Nixon. I mean, come on. Reagan. So it's time to leave the Piscean age behind, the deception, the veils, and walk into the revelation of truth of the age of Aquarius, the freedom, the liberation, the sovereignty, the power to the people. You need your tribe and your community and online. So that's where you can join my tribe. And we have our 4th tribe meeting tonight, either the premium $18 a month or $5 per month. It's going up at the equinox, so join now. And that price stays forever. Many discounts, exclusive contents, discounts on servers, products. $18 a month, you get the coffee talks for free. You save $17 right there. And August is some great coffee talks. The 10th, and then the, I think Friday the 23rd. Okay, we're doing the full coffee talk. We're going to do the Pisces lunar eclipse and then the Virgo solar eclipse. And then the mini coffee talk, I think on the 23rd, Friday, or somewhere in there. We are going to do Oh, I think the 9th. So then that Friday would be 8, 15, the 22nd. Saturn back into Pisces. So Saturn back into Pisces, and see from September 1st until February 2026 how that energy is going to play out. So it's going to be powerful. So let's talk about the Leo Virgo Moon. We're going to get to the chart for Astro-Weather Weekend. And it is Leo season. Make sure Monday you join me live on In the Akasha on TikTok with Rebecca Vidanoff, giving you a sneak preview, doing live readings of our workshop, Navigating Ascension. You can go to her website, Rebecca Vidanoff, and I have it on my YouTube page. It's $44. This is going to be an amazing presentation from the Akashic and channeling and the astrological perspective, and giving you personal insights based on your birthday and big three on how to navigate this ascension, right? It's Friday, August 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 hours. You don't want to miss this. Rebecca Vidanoff in the Akasha and Eric Taylor, BigEAstro Astrology. People are signing up. I hope I see you there. It's going to be great. But come join us Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, in the Akasha, Rebecca Vidanoff on TikTok. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's get into it. The Leo birth chart sales rocking. Eric at BigEAstrology.com. Leo, Sun, Moon, Risings, 206, 90 minutes live over Zoom, or 305, custom video summary mini movie of your life. And I hope you guys signed up for the newsletter, received the newsletter. It was very good, and information for the Leo new moon and all that good stuff. All right, let's go. Astro-Weather Weekend, BigE Astrology. All right, forget about it. Friday, good people. Little late today, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Venus is moving along, getting ready to leave Gemini. We got the Leo moon, okay, and we had the sun. So Mercury conjunct moon, not always conjunctions are positive, but you know, this is where your emotional mind and your analytical logical mind can both be on the same page, but not really, because Mercury is retrograde. So logically, you're reanalyzing, assessing, introspective. Emotionally, you kind of want to express yourself. So you need to do it. You just got to pause and make sure your thoughts are aligned with your heart before you dispense the language, okay? Now, Mars is moving along and getting ready to, you know, it's pulling away from the South Node, opposing the North Node, but Mars in Virgo will be headed to Libra soon. We're still dealing with Lilith, bouncing back and forth, back in Scorpio. Remember, for the full moon, new moon, it was in Sag. So this Lilith is sort of sextiling, you know, the Mars. Nothing, it's not trining anything in Cancer or Pisces. And, you know, the Leo sun, we're still in the first decan, right? So we're out of the cusp. We're at the 3rd degree, Jupiter. It is truly Leo season. And, you know, that 3rd degree is a Gemini degree. So this is a day where this weekend you want to communicate, you want to be outside at the beach, social, Gemini, Cancer, Leo degrees, okay, 3, 4, 5 degrees. So express yourself, beach, fun, family. Should be a good weekend as we get ready over here on the West Coast, certain places, going back to school August 4th. It'll be a break. I can work in peace and quiet. But it was a good summer. Jupiter is still so hot. Jupiter in Cancer, you know, what we've got to realize is that we've got to tap into our emotional intelligence, and Jupiter is now at that 2nd decan. So this is the Cancer Scorpio decan. So this is more manifesting, more empathic energy in terms of aligning with your beliefs and philosophies, and it's a little bit more intense emotionally, okay? So just be mindful of that, and it will be sextiling Mm, well, no, it's not quite there yet, but it'll be sextiling Orcus and Virgo South Node shortly. You'll feel that. But remember, this Gemini Venus is still squaring the Mars. And so there can be a lot of issues around language and you know, rhetoric, right? France and Israel, America, Russia, Ukraine. You're hearing this rhetoric, right? Venus is our devotion and values. Mars is our action, the war. So Mars and Virgo still very heavy mental and tactical, okay? So Pluto Aquarius still opposing the sun. Watch the news, some sort of explosive stuff. Friday news drops, they're going to threaten to try to arrest or, charge Obama with whatever, what happened when he, investigated Trump with the Russia hoax and all that foolishness. Who knows, right? They're all on the same team and the same gang, so nothing's going to happen to Obama, just like nothing happened to Trump. Capiche? So this Leo moon, 15 degrees, should finish up at around 21 degrees East Coast, 22 West Coast. So tomorrow when you wake up, right, we'll still have the Leo moon at around 28 degrees or so. So we'll get to the Virgo moon, around 2 p.m. or a little bit before 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay? So then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, you'll have the Virgo moon. Okay? We'll have that Virgo, Libra, Scorpio moon week. So, but just tap in. Hopefully you set some new intentions and really are ready to walk into a new existence, a new reality. Uranus is still trining Pluto, but it is sextiling the sun. So moving and going for walks and adventures and little road trips could be very harmonious this weekend, and try to have some fun. And, it's still sextiling the Neptune and Uranus as well. And we still have the trine with Saturn, Neptune to the Leo sun. Okay? And so that's where you can, through your creative adventures and being disciplined, you can manifest things into reality. All right? So let's get to Saturday, Sabado, for the Astro Weather. And hopefully you should join the tribe. So you can come to the tribe meeting tonight. I can send you the link. And people reaching out, I'm going to email this one person. But if you still want to get the Mike Tyson birth chart, it's $13. Eric at BigEAstro.com. You could Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. Okay? And you want to sign up for the Coffee Talks in August, because the eclipses and then Saturn in Pisces, you don't want to miss that information. All right? Eric Taylor, Astro-Weather Weekend, Big E Astrology. All right, Seek It Saturday, Sabado. Yo, bro, what's the flow? There you go. 27 degrees. Okay. Thought it would get to 28, but that's interesting. And you see the sun, well, it's on its way to 4 degrees. Okay. And we are, so then 6 hours, 3 degrees. So a little bit before 6 p.m. So a little after 5 p.m., around 5:20, 5:30, the moon went to Virgo. So that'll literally be 2.5 days. And that's when you should do intermittent fasting if you're a Virgo sun. No drugs, no sex, no cursing, no alcohol. So that means Saturday, half a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay? And then Libra will be Tuesday, Wednesday, part of Thursday, and a little Scorpio for a Scorpio Sag moon weekend. You get it? So Saturday, the day of the planet Saturn, spiritual discipline, having this Leo moon, not really squaring anything in Cancer, but the Jupiter is now in Cancer. The Venus. The Venus in Gemini is now sextiling the Leo moon. You'll feel that Saturday. So that'll be nice. Ladies, good relationship stuff or catching up with mom, barbecue, family reunion, cookout. The Jupiter in Cancer, you know, it's on its way to, or squaring the Ceres goddess of harvest. And the Pisces North Node now at 19. You're going to feel, that opposition to the Mars, kind of pulling away, but it's still like not really wanting to settle on peace. And the Mars square Venus, okay? So we're still having arguments about values and logistics. Mars is the soldier, the warrior, logistic strategies. Venus, the relationships, the devotion, the food, right? I mean, every time people try to get food, they get shot at. That's not humanitarian. And it's disgusting, the cover-ups and the lies from America and Israel. These people just want to eat. I mean, I don't understand how anybody can argue or debate that. And you're seeing more protests in Israel. The Israeli people are done, with the regime and the government. I mean, yeah, they've got plenty of people who support them, but there's plenty of people on the ground who are, trying to step away. So anyway, I'm not getting into all that. I've got friends on all sides and all that stuff. To me, I'm just about peace, okay? At all costs. Peace at all costs. Now remember, there's Juno and Scorpio, and the Lilith still staying there in Scorpio. So that Lilith is sextiling the Mars, and it's squaring the Moon. So there could be some intense emotions on Saturday. Be mindful of that, just for a little bit. Maybe literally from like 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern, okay? But, Saturday, explore, tap into your intuition. Pluto trining Uranus, we're still going to see a lot of advances with free energy technology, the Waymo cars spreading. You're going to see some different announcements about medicine or stem cells. Amazon's doing the pharmacy and delivering medicine now. That's like, whoa, I don't even know what to think about that one. What do you guys think about it? Like, I'm kind of curious, It's fascinating to me. So that's Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. And the moon will wind up finishing up at like 3 degrees Virgo, 4 degrees West Coast. So it should be around 10 degrees, 9 or 10 degrees Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Astro-Weather Weekend. Have a wonderful Saturday. BigEAstro Astrology. All right, sleep on it. Sunday. The day of the sun. You're feeling vitalized. It's 4, but it'll be at 5 degrees. Mercury starting to move a little. Okay, down to the 12. And the Virgo moon. Dun, 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 dun. Was I correct? I said 10 degrees, but it's at 10 degrees. Aha. I like that one. I'm right. So this is now the second decan. The Virgo moon is the most intuitive moon. Pisces is most psychic. You really feel it in your lower intestines and the gut. Okay. So make sure Saturday, Sunday, you're eating very light. I'm going to probably do a little fast. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I just feel like I need it. And just focus on your health. I feel like energetically, I don't know if you guys can sense it, but this is going to be an interesting autumn season. The equinox is the 21st. The tribe prices will go up 25 and 10. And join my tribe, because we get to really share and talk about so many things that we can't talk about other places. But we're building that community. And it's great, and the support is awesome, and the learning and the exchange of energy is beautiful. But understand, this Virgo moon will be finishing up at 16 degrees, 17 West Coast on Sunday, and it'll be conjunct the Virgo South Node. So there's certain things that emotionally Virgos you've been holding on to, and look at the Virgo in your birth chart where you have it at. For me, it's in the 11th house. Certain things that we need to release emotionally and just cut it off for good. Transmute it out. Literally shoot it down onto your hands into the ground and cut the cord. And that could be, for me, 11th house, friends, older siblings, groups, organizations, nonprofit, things like that. So we've just got to tap into that, and we've got to be willing to, let it go, okay, and focus on your health. So, I would also say, checking in on this Lilith. Lilith is still doing that dance, okay? So it's sextiling the Mars, and it is, and that Venus is getting ready to get into. Venus in Cancer is going to be a nice energy, especially when we have coming up in August that Venus Jupiter conjunction. That's going to be beautiful, okay? That may be one of the last really positive placements for a while, but there's nothing to fear. When we have these retrogrades and we have these challenging aspects, we have got to work with the energy. When Mars goes to Libra, we have the Jupiter-Mars square. We just have to integrate that and not get into arguments and fights about our beliefs or philosophies, about religion, okay? Those are those false flags that we don't need to get into. So really, tap into transformation, learn about technology, embrace different concepts, and with this Virgo moon, analyze and assess, like, oh, how are you spending over the summer? How are you saving? Are you having a family trust? Do you have a will? Right? I make sure I got everything, boom, boom, boom. Do you have life insurance policies for your children and for yourself? We got it all covered over here, Are you getting into XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, Quan, different coins? You got to think about it. Do the research. We're going to be leaving the paper money. So you got to get familiar with the digital currency. I promise you. You're not going to have a choice. All right. So enjoy the Astro-Weather Weekend. Should be okay. The sun's pulling away from the Pluto and the Neptune. You'll still feel it a little bit, the trine and opposition, but overall it's pulling away. And, the sun is, in a loose, you still might feel it, the sextile to Uranus. You could get some downloads when you're moving and walking around in nature. In a vehicle, driving in a Waymo or Uber. Waymos are a little bit safer than the Ubers because these Uber drivers are human, and some of them are not mentally sane. Not knocking any Uber drivers out there, but there's been too many incidents. It's kind of absurd. Okay, so we love it when our son's in a Waymo. It's safe. So that's it for the Astro-Weather Weekend. Football's here, training camp. Justin Fields got hurt, but the Jets dodged a bullet. Chris Paul signed with the Clippers. Baseball trade deadline is the 31st. They're making moves. And the Taylor twins are getting ready to start playing some football. My 10th grader's playing cornerback, and Jack, 7th grade, he's playing wide receiver and corner. I want him to play quarterback, but he doesn't want to. He's really good, though. And Mateus is going to try linebacker and tight end. Last year he did linebacker, a little bit of safety. I think this year I could see him being a fullback too, but people don't use fullbacks anymore. But, we'll see. So, Astro-Weather Weekend, enjoy. Leos, hit me up. Reach out, get a birth chart reading. Really look at the Chiron Lilith. That's $71. It's an audio chart reading, breaking down your Chiron and Lilith, the sign, the house, and aspects to it. That one, you just book it directly, eric@BigEAstrology.com. It's really helpful. And have a great Astro-Weather Weekend. Sunday, July 27th, Big E Astrology. Pew! That's that's a nice weekend. July 25th, 26th, 27th, Leo Virgo Moon, Mars square Venus, you got a Mercury Moon conjunction, yada yada, the Sun still opposing Pluto and trining Saturn, Neptune, and you've got to move away from the old version of yourself and relying on these old systems and the old reality. People are feeling lethargic and tired because we're getting blasted on the positive from the sun, the light codes. Get out there in nature. On the negative, we're getting blasted by, 5 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, right? And technologies and this and that and things in the clouds and, blah, 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 and trails from chemistry. So you have got to stay connected with your crystals. You've got to get the EMF protectors. You've got to guard your grill and your energy. It's quite simple. Take crystals with you when you're out and about or whatever. I've got to get my, black obsidian? I got to get my Libra crystals and put them under the bed with me and stuff like that too. So, hey, we all can do better, but when you know better, you should do better, and don't listen to the low vibrational music. Right? That pours into your subconscious and it throws off your energy and equilibrium. Take a break from these phones, okay? The Blu-ray light is terrible. Go outside. When I go outside, I take off my shades. Let the sun integrate in. I got to start getting up at sunrise and sunset and doing that. I do sun gaze in the sunset, but, come on. We got this. Eric Taylor. Now, please go and comment on this video, but comment on Smoke the Creators, Debbie Solaris, my podcast guest. I really appreciate it. And remember, Elena from Searchlight Tarot and Eric from BigEAstro, we're starting a new channel together. It's coming in August, Virgo season. So get ready. It's going to be, I'm not going to tell you the name yet, but it's going to be something new and different. And it's going to be powerful, that astrology tarot combo. So still going to have BigEAstro, but I'm going to have another channel as well. So I'm really excited. And obviously, about the workshop webinars. And I'll be announcing a fourth one coming up. So I got Rebecca Vidanoff, Anjani Seagrass, Debbie Solaris, and then something coming up maybe in October with psychic medium and resonant kinesiologist. She plays the harp, Dr. Karen Michelle. She's amazing. She's been on the podcast once and she'll be coming on probably early September as well. Now Tuesday, I've got Portia Cooper coming on, astronumerologist. She's going to be decoding the name. It's going to be a nice numerology presentation. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. So we'll see you for that on Tuesday. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be putting that up. And then Sunday night, I'll be on live. Wifey and I, we're going to talk about Mercury and Venus in Leo. Okay, so Mercury's there now. Venus will get there shortly. It's got to go to Cancer first. But we're going to, break that down in the natal birth chart for my Leo, the Lion people. All right? Astro-Weather Weekend. Enjoy the Leo Virgo Moon. And be smart, be safe, and be careful. And stay positive out there. And be your true, authentic self. BigEAstrology. Peace.